Greetings and good morning, and welcome to this random slot. Many of you will be aware that from time to time I do some random recording of the of whatever subject that might be coming to mind, and this morning something came to mind, something about the scourge of infidelity among men. The scourge of infidelity among men. It has just been on my mind. The fact that when we look into the problems and the challenge of infidelity in society today, particularly in marriage, it seems to be getting worse. It seems to be getting worse. One can say we've always had this problem from time immemorial, but I get a feeling, in as much as I spend a lot of time in counseling couples, I get a feeling that it's much more worse than it has ever been before, with about 60% plus of people that I see for marital counseling having something to do with the issue of infidelity. It is almost like a virus that is wreaking havoc in society. I don't know, somehow it seems like it has also become acceptable in society. What is even more worse is the fact that it seems like men, instead of discouraging each other about it, men seems to be encouraging one another on the path and the issues around infidelity as a lifestyle, as a way of doing things. And as a result of that, many have no remorse. I mean, I was talking to someone, and they were revealing, actually the wife was revealing that she saw in the messages between her husband and a friend, and the husband was asking whether he did get something this weekend. I can't remember the word used. Maybe it's not even a good enough word to be used in a public platform like this, but he was asking him whether he did. And the man says, no, I did. I had enough. I had what and I had what. And that seems to be something that society is encouraging, something that seems to be acceptable, and it almost seems like if you're not getting it in terms of whatever, how they define it, there's something wrong with you. And I will not forget, I was somewhere in Midrand some few years ago, and I was talking to a particular guy. I had come to see him on particular other business, and then there was a group of men, about 5-6 of them. They were sitting around in one of those open plan setup, and they were sitting there, and then they were busy talking about infidelity. And one of the themes that they were going about was, all of us are doing it. All of us. There's no man who's not doing it. All of us are doing it. We just need to encourage each other on what to do when you're caught. And I was listening, even though I was not part of the meeting. They were talking about strategies on how they must do, what you do when you get caught, or if you overslept on your side's place. And one of the things I was not even aware is that they said, this is what you do. If you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you realize that you're in trouble, you overslept at your on whatever the side that you have, the small house. You then go to the nearest police station to home, pay them a bribe around 500 rand for them to lock you up. And when they lock you up, then they call the wife, and they say to the wife, he was caught drunk, or he was caught speeding around 6:30, and he has been here the whole night. And you need to come and bail him out. So obviously the wife will be touched and be feeling sorry for himself, and she will come with another, sorry for her husband, with another 500 or so to bail him out. And that's the scheme. Another thing, I was listening, another one was saying that actually it makes a big difference if you're going to arrive home at 1 o'clock. What you do is at 12:30, you call to say yeah, I was stuck, I'm on my way, whatever. It sort of releases the pressure. So they were busy going on and on with these things. So, but as a man of God, as one who teaches and stands by the principles of marriage, I decided that I need to put on my little word. So I said, here am I. I'm a married man. I have never done adultery, and I don't have anybody on the side. And then this guy says to me, no, there's no one, even pastors, even bishops, and no one. Everybody has a side. There is nobody who doesn't have. Don't tell us stories that you don't have. I said, I don't have it. Check my phone or check my messages. My children play with my phone. I don't have. They said, no, there's nobody who doesn't have. The intensity of their arguments were so much so that I eventually had to step out and say, okay, there's no way I'm going to win this. So, because the pressure, they believe. So, you can almost understand if they believe every man is doing it. So, there is no view that says, I mustn't do it, because that means if I'm not doing it and every man is doing it, that means there is something wrong with you, you know. And at the end of the day, there's pressure to do something. And one of the things that I lament among us as black men, you hardly find black men sitting together, encouraging each other on building each other on what is positive, encouraging each other to love your wife, to love your family, to love your children. And you hardly find black men bragging to each other about how I bought flowers for my wife, I bought roses, I did this. And there is a need to change the content of our discussions, of our talks, to be put into the positive. So men would rather brag about the sides that they have and the things that they do. They would rather brag about how uncaring that they might be to their spouses. You always hear all this nonsense that me, I don't play, me, I beat. Even those skinny men who are terrified of their wives, but they will talk about me, I beat, and so on and so on. So when you come back to infidelity, what makes the situation even worse is that men teach each other the fact that if you're caught, you do three things. If you're caught: deny, deny, deny. Deny, deny, deny. Now, what men don't realize is that by so doing, you are adding an insult to an injury. You're adding an insult. You're making the situation worse. And there is one story. This is just blows my mind. So the man was outside washing the car, and whatever, he texts a message, and in the text message, he says I'll see you later. Will you be wearing those panties? Will you be wearing those panties? So he gets back into the house. The wife looks at the phone and says, who are you talking to about wearing panties? That they will be wearing panties. And the man says, no, it's actually a friend of mine. It's a friend of mine. But why are you calling? Why are you talking about panties with your friend? He says, no, actually, we were at the shop. He was buying these underwears. They look like panties, so we called them panties. Now the question is, why are you asking your friend that whether you'll be wearing panties? Why are you interested in what your friend and the underwears that your friend will be wearing? No, it's just how we talk. It's just how we talk. And this guy repeated this story right here in counseling with me. And I know that this is becoming ridiculous. He's just making a fool. It's enough to make a fool of his wife. So asked the wife to go outside. And I said to him, man, let's talk this man to man. Let's stop this nonsense. Let's talk this man to man. What did you say? Then the guy says, I was caught, man. I said, man, when you are caught, when you're in trouble, I'm here to help and how to can get out of trouble. But you don't make a fool out of me. You can make a fool out of your wife, but you can make a fool out of me. And this idea of deny, it's more destructive because they can see it. And I can tell you why men do deny, because if they don't deny, if they admit it, then they'll be asked, why are you doing it? How did you do it? How many times did you do it? What positions did you do? So the theory among men is that deny, so that I don't get to go further. But it destroys everything about trust. Trust in the person, trust in you disappears. And marriage cannot hold without trust. You see, without trust, even when the person says, I love you, you can't believe it because you don't trust it. But, and without trust, when you do deny, it actually says you have not ended, you have not stopped, you are not over. You want to continue with the same lifestyle. So this theory of deny, it is most destructive at best. And because men will lie, and in the process, I had a woman says to me, it was not the infidelity, it's how I was made a fool that broke me, and that ended up ending the relationship. Because it is one thing to do what is wrong, but it is another thing to add the insult to the injury by making the person to feel like a fool, to making the person to feel worthless in the process. I had a story of a man who was the madness of men, and in the deny. You see, the man will go to the extent that he's caught right-handed in a bedroom with a woman, and the wife comes in, finds with another woman, the other woman dresses up and leaves. And then when the other woman has left, the wife asks, but why are you doing this? And you hear the man says, what? What are you talking about? What is it? He says, no, the issue of you bringing a woman into our bedroom. He says, which woman? What are you talking about? Which woman? Which woman? Don't start. And one of the best defense mechanism of men with the issue of infidelity is to make themselves angry, to make themselves upset, and so that because when I'm angry and upset, you won't question me further. Again, if deny was adding an insult to an injury, the anger that you build up under to try to create your defense, it adds more than an insult to the injury. In fact, it does even further damage. It makes it more difficult, almost impossible for you to ever be trusted, for the relationship to ever to work. Right? Now, I heard a story of a man who was sleeping at another man's house and with the wife of somebody else, and unfortunately the man came through, and the man ran. He ran for his life. He got through the window, and he ran. And fortunately, home was not far. He finally got home, even though he left his car. And when he got home, he says, hey, and now he's naked. He gets home, and he says to his wife, I was hijacked, and they took off my car, they took off my clothes, they took out everything, and that's why I ran naked to come home. And the wife was laughing. The wife is laughing to bits. And the man says, what kind of a wife are you? What kind of you? You don't care about my struggle, my pain, and things that I've gone through. The wife is just laughing. And I just escaped from all of this, and the wife is laughing. And the man could not understand. He's getting angry now. You don't care about me. You wanted me to be dead. And then the wife says, so after they took out your clothes and everything else and take your car, they put a condom on you. That's when the man looked down and realized that he still had the plastic that he was wearing. in the process of running, in the process of escaping, he forgot. But the theory, the idea about man, I mean, even then, I'm sure that man, I don't know how the story went further, but I'm sure that man found another way of creating a view that says a story of how that by accident ended up on that organ of himself, that plastic ended up in this organ of himself. You know, and so if we are going to look into and deal with the scourge, the first thing is to remember anyone who gets involved in adultery will be caught. And as I always say, anyone who commits adultery will be caught. So if you are already committing adultery today, if you're already having an affair, even if it's emotional, you're going to be caught. And the reason you're going to be caught is not because you were reckless, it's not because you were careless, it's not because you forgot to delete messages, it's not because the person called at the wrong time. The reason you're going to be caught is because the devil is in charge of the adultery of the curriculum. The devil is in charge of the curriculum of adultery. And the first thing is to get you trapped. And as soon as you're trapped, the next thing he's going to do is to expose you. Because the devil's agenda is not for you to enjoy his things. It's to destroy your family, to destroy your marriage, is to destroy you as a person. So every time the devil lingers something on you, the fact is that he wants to destroy you. It might boost your self-esteem. It might make you feel special. It makes you feel important. But that's how the devil wants to destroy you. I said to young men, when the devil has got an agenda, young men, to destroy you, he can get you Miss World. Forget about Miss South Africa. He can get Miss World and look up to you and says, where have you been? Never seen a handsome, never seen a smart and intelligent man like you. When the devil wants to get you, he can give you the very best. He will flatter you to the very end and you will feel like you're $1 million. But his ultimate objective is to destroy your life, is to destroy your marriage, is to destroy everything about you. I was talking to a man, because normally when I talk to those who are Christians, I can talk to them about Christianity and what God says. But I was talking to a man and he's not much of a church person. I said to him, man, if you continue with this adultery lifestyle, I know he is a well-to-do man, just living large, and he takes the children to most expensive private school. I said, I want to tell you this. If you don't change the lifestyle of infidelity, those children you are raising and you're taking them to the most expensive private schools, one day they will grow up and they will hate you. They will resent you for what you're doing to their mother and the lifestyle you're doing, and you will die a lonely, miserable death. The man says to me, man, how do you know? How do you know? Stop. How do you know? Because you are talking about what my father did. That's what my father did. And even as we speak today, we have no relationship with him. He's a lonely old man, because when we were growing up, he left our mother to spend time with these other women and doing all of those things. He says, that's what happened. I said, that's generational curses. What happened to your father? I'm not a prophet, neither a son of a prophet, but I'm going to tell you that if you don't change, that will happen to you. I don't care whether you don't fear God or not. It will destroy you, because the ultimate objective of the devil is to destroy everything about you, young man. He might bring them in all shape and sizes. He might give them with all those, because there will always be somebody better. There's somebody who looks more beautiful. There will be somebody more attractive, more smarter, more intelligent. In fact, somebody who seems to understand you better. Somebody else who seems to value you more better. And all of that is a trap. It's a trap. And at the end of the day, the ultimate objective is to destroy you, to destroy your life and everything about it. So in spite of the fact that infidelity has been destroying lives and destroying families for years, many are still subscribing today. Many are still not listening to the simple word of God, thou shalt not commit adultery. He who created mankind knew that you can't handle it. And if you do it for your own good, there is nothing that God says you mustn't do that is good for us. If he says don't do it, it's because he knows you can't handle it, and because it will destroy you, because it's bad for you. But unfortunately, many of us are still experimenting with your lives. Experimenting with our lives. And I'm talking to you today who have not yet been caught. I'm saying the day is coming to you. The day is coming for you. If you don't repent today, that day is coming. And I can assure you. The lady told me, she says, our engagement ended. Or was it engagement or marriage? It ended. He says, we were building a house back home. And he had gone back home. And he was showing me the pictures on the phone of the construction, the progress in the construction. When suddenly a message popped up. Sweetheart, darling, last night was amazing. There is no man like you. I like how you do it. Right there. And that's the devil for you. That's the devil. That's the devil. That's how the devil rolls. That's how he do it. So at that time, when you decide they're going to show the pictures and you're all happy about the progress, the building that they're doing at home, it is the time when the devil says to the other one on the other side, send a message right now, right now. I'm telling you right now. And the spirit press the button and the message comes there, because the idea is to destroy, and that was the end of their relationship. It ended with that message. Because the devil's business is to destroy, break hearts, is to mess people's lives, that's why don't play with the devil's stuff. Don't play with the devil's toys. Right there where the Lord has placed you, in your own home, ask the Lord to add a special blessing. He's the one who created marriage. He's the one who created intimacy. He's the one who created all of those things. Invest there. Invest there. In fact, a man that we grew up together said to me something. I was saying to him, man, he's not a God-fearing man, and he's an adulterer of note. So I was saying to him, man, the things you're doing for these other women, the side, if you were doing half of that for your wife, she would be very happy. You'll be a happy marriage. He said to me, no. If I'm doing just 10%, my wife will be very happy. He knows it. Why is he not doing it? It's a trap of the enemy. That's why I believe there are demonic powers that are out there, infecting both men and women, to do that which is improper, that which is wrong. We will pause here and we will continue some other time. Maybe if I get time this afternoon, I'll continue from here. May the Lord bless you and keep you as you take a decision to do His will and to fear God and obey His commandments. Amen.